Okay. Well, here we go. Hello and welcome to Morning Fuel. I'm your host, John Bundy, and you are here because you believe in the power of the spoken word and its ability to change lives, and that by sharing our stories, we can help others overcome challenges that they cannot overcome on their own. Whether it's a victory you need to win in business or in your own personal life, you understand that listening to others who are willing to share their stories with you will help you to overcome. All right, today's guest is a standout figure in the realm of real estate, a passionate advocate not just for home ownership, but for those who serve our communities and country. Meet Chad Keeney, a realtor whose life and career are defined by deep-seated values of hard work, integrity, and exceptional service, all rooted in his upbringing on a modest farm in central Pennsylvania. Since 2022, Chad has been leading the Keeney Home Team at Harrell Homes, bringing not just expertise in real estate transactions, but a heartfelt dedication to making a substantial difference in the lives of heroes who serve us daily. His role extends to serving as the area director for the Hero Benefits Network, where in partnership with Annie Mack, he helps military members, veterans, government employees, medical professionals, educators, police officers, firefighters, and nonprofit employees and union members navigate the complexities of the real estate market. Through HBN, Chad and his team offer up to $5,000 in benefits to support these vital community members in the sale or purchase of their homes. Chad's dedication to his community and profession is paralleled by his personal passions. An avid reader and talented guitarist, he finds joy and solace in the strings of his guitar and the pages of his favorite books. A culinary enthusiast as well, he loves exploring new restaurants and savoring diverse flavors, which further enrich his appreciation for the vibrant world around him. Residing in Salem Woods, with his loving wife, 4 daughters, and 3 beloved dogs, Chad is a devoted family man who places tremendous value on the time spent with his loved ones. Whether he's navigating the real estate market to help clients achieve their dreams of home ownership or enriching his life through hobbies and family time, Chad embodies a commitment to excellence that impacts everyone around him. Please help me in extending a warm Morning Fuel podcast welcome to a man who embodies the essence of service, dedication, and community spirit, Chad Keeney. Chad, man, really great to see you, dude. Nice to meet you the other day and glad to have you on the show so quick.
Thank you, sir.
I've had some guests that I've been trying to get on the show for, 3 years or so, and they just kind of drag their feet. But glad to have you here, dude.
Yeah, man. Great to be here. And I appreciate you fitting me in there so quickly, too.
Yeah, no problem, man. I had an opening. It was a miracle.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
It's good. Somebody was just telling me they tried to get on the podcast the other day, and they said, "You're booked for the next 6 months." I was like, "No, not really booked for the next 6 months. I'm out of the country for 12 months starting on Thursday, so that's why you couldn't get on the show." But anyway, really great to meet you, man. So talk to us about Chad Keeney before real estate. Now, we love the origin stories in hero movies. All right, so how did Peter Parker become Spider-Man? How did Batman, how did Bruce Wayne become Batman? Those sorts of stories. So, and we know that those stories come out of, they're based on real life, ordinary people that then did extraordinary things. So talk to us about Chad pre-spider bite, pre-real estate fever. What was Chad doing?
Sure. Well, the real estate bug itself actually started in me probably, honestly, I was a teenager.
Okay.
And has a lot to do with the circumstances surrounding the liquidation of the family farm. But moving forward a little bit, right before real estate, for about 8 years leading up until 2020, I was a homestay coordinator and a newly appointed director for a foreign exchange agency. We worked with foreign exchange students from, I think the final count is 9 different countries throughout the world, and we would help the students come over here, get them set up with a school, set up with a host family, and then we would oversee their entire time over here. Every few years, I would go over to one of the foreign countries to visit. And in October of 2019, I went to China, did a tour of, I think it was 7 different cities, Wuhan being one of those. met with the new president of the agency, got this promotion. We were going to start a new program, and I was basically going to run things from under a different type of visa, run things from Maine to Florida and everything on this side of the Mississippi. It was going to be huge. Life looked like it was going nowhere but up. And then on January 15th of 2020, it was a Wednesday afternoon, rocked my world. I got a text message, a picture shot. One of my students received this picture from her mother who lived in the city of Wuhan. That picture was shooting down on the streets and it was completely empty. And I compare it, when I talk about it, I compare it to, if you've ever seen I Am Legend, you've seen...
It's one of my favorite movies, actually.
Okay, so you've seen that shot of
New York City, just the city, the grass growing, and there's deer in the streets.
Yep.
And all the cars are just parked.
And not a soul around.
Right.
And that was exactly what it looked like.
Wow.
So I knew I was fortunate because I feel like I was one of the very first people on this continent to realize, like, holy crap, this is going to be some
Right.
life-changing stuff. And it was. That picture came out January 15th, and we watched the news and, watched my students one by one get sent home. And by May of that same year, I was down to one student. The entire business dissipated.
Now, when you saw that picture, did you have any clue what was actually going on, or was it just kind of a government shutdown thing? Or
yeah, I mean, I knew it was disease, and of course there was a whole lot of, I hate to use the term, fake news. That came out, and there was a lot of panic that was happening.
You like bat soup, don't you? or pangolin pasta.
Right. But I mean, you had these videos of people like I don't want to get too gory on the podcast, but they were definitely exaggerated pictures. Sure. So it wasn't nearly as bad as the first things to come out, but it was enough to shut down the world for a couple of years.
Sure it was.
So I ended up, and the agency is back up and running. I'm no longer part of it. Ended up taking, as we were discussing the other day, took kind of a 2-year retirement. Did some, gig work, DoorDash and Uber and all of that.
That was fun during 2020. My wife and I did that. She was the navigator and I was the one cussing.
Yeah. But, just kind of had fun, laid back, and just kind of got through it. And then I took it as the opportunity to really do some self-reflection and figure out, okay, this is gone. Part of it was heartbreaking. The other part of it was a little bit relieving as well, because it's, when you're doing it on the scale that we were doing it, there is no time for sleep. You're dealing with students over here when the sun is up, and when the sun is down, guess what? The sun's up in China and in Japan and South Korea. So when those agents need to get in touch with you over something, 9 o'clock in the morning to them is 9 o'clock at night over here. So you're getting those phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning, wondering where you're at. So, again, it was heartbreaking to see it go, but at the same time, it was a good opportunity to kind of step back. It was a midlife reset.
Sure.
And, kind of really, I did a lot of self-searching, and the one thing vocationally that continued to bring joy was the thought of real estate. I owned a townhouse at the time, still own it, for rent, and it was the one thing that vocationally really excited me, and through a little bit of trial and error, I decided I'm going to go ahead and get my license and start working in real estate, helping people accomplish that dream of home ownership.
Right. So, we have a portion of the show called the What the Fail. So the WTF of the show. Yep. And you may have actually just talked about that. I mean, that 2020, you made good of it because you kept yourself busy and you did a few things that were fun. But do you have any other, places, whether it's either in business or life, that we can help somebody get unstuck, as our friend Brittany was talking about earlier. When it comes to a hard thing that you went through that could have maybe taken you out or totally changed your trajectory. But you got through it. You learned from it and you moved on. Do you have anything you'd like to talk about when it comes to that? I know this is probably going to sound like a infomercial or something like that, but are you a busy entrepreneur or business owner who has very little time to plan their travels when it comes to taking their families on a vacation? And by the time you get there, you are super exhausted and you don't want to have to think about anything. You just want to enjoy. Well, welcome to Experience Rest, Rincon, Puerto Rico. Let me break it down for you. You come down here, you stay with Sarah and I in one of the many homes that we get access to. We take care of you. We take care of the planning based on your needs. The itinerary is built based on your choices before you even get here. And when you arrive, we pick you up at the airport. We take you to your home for the 2 weeks that you're here, and you don't have to make any decisions. You just show up. You just wake up, enjoy your coffee, enjoy your breakfast, and we make the decisions for you based on your choices. Sarah and I will be your guides. And also, we'll take care of the things at the house as well. The cleaning, the cooking. I worked under a James Beard nominated chef at Stove in Port Norfolk, Virginia. And I've got a little bit of skill, but I guarantee you will be blessed with genuine Puerto Rican cuisine and gracious hosts and guides. And we'll take you on tours based on your preferences as well. If you're the adventurous type, we'll go ahead and take you to swim in a waterfall that's a short hike away. And also paddleboarding or surfing, even for the first time. We look forward to having you down. If you have any questions at any time, please don't hesitate to reach out. CasitaMaricao.com or Experience Rest. Thanks for being a part of the community, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that would probably be the question
Right.
that I just answered. I think that's the big one. As far as any other major situation, I would say that was the biggest one.
Because that was pretty much you were in your mind doing what you were doing until you retired.
Yes.
And then 2020, done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was going to keep
Okay.
keep working on this thing and keep growing that baby until I couldn't do it anymore.
Would you say now that you look back on it, this is a good thing?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the reset that I needed. I think, again, it was a lot of fun. It was, one of my big mantras for myself and for my family is add value.
Yeah.
And I think that I can use that to answer the question that you had asked me a few minutes ago, but kind of going back to that, that whole situation, if I would have stayed in that business and would have kept pushing the way that I did, I would have worked myself into an early grave.
Sure.
Because there is...
I mean, you were up 24 hours
There's
a day.
no 8-hour sleep, man.
Yeah.
It's, 3, 4, maybe 6 hours if you're
Right.
lucky.
Right. Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, as far as getting through those hard times, I think the thing that really pushed me through it, that's the biggest one that I can really talk about. I don't have anything else that can really top the 2020 shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as pushing through it, I think the thing that kept me level-headed and the thing that keeps me through those hard times is, whether you're a believer in God or not, and I am.
Mm-hmm.
So call him God or call it the universe.
Right.
There's no such thing as wasted energy.
Sure.
So my feeling is if I'm given the opportunity to wake up in the morning and sit up and move, then there's something for me to do that day. There's some way for me to add value to somebody else because that's what it's all about.
Right.
And it's just, sometimes you get hit in the face with a brick and you realize, okay, this is not where I'm adding value anymore. It's time to figure out what to do next.
I love that quote by Mike Tyson where he says, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, and a lot of times in life we get punched in the mouth. And I mean, you mentioned God earlier, and I am a man of faith. I love Jesus. And I hear folks time and again talk about, and they give credit to the universe. And that's all in good, but I'd rather worship the one that created the universe.
Amen.
And he set it all in place to do what it does, and you benefit from it, even though you don't believe in it, he loves you.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
that's great, man. So like, and you must have watched at least an episode of the show, man, because you keep answering my questions before I ask them. Because the next question was, and Morning Fuel was born out of adversity in my life that I had through prayer developed a morning routine that actually got me over my anxiety and depression. So Morning Fuel, the thing that got me up in the morning, that keeps me from hitting the snooze button, that gets me up and gets me to the gym and gets me eating right and then gets me in a good frame of mind after prayer. That right there, that Morning Fuel is what gets me through the day. And you just shared that with us. Now, so do you have a morning routine or let me ask you this, where do you worship? Where do you go to church?
I go to Exalt Church down in Chesapeake.
Okay. Do you live over in Chesapeake?
I live in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but just over the line.
Yeah.
We're about 15 minutes from the church.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, we're about 20 minutes from ours. We used to live up in Gloucester. We went to church when the girls were little up there. Now we live in Yorktown, and we drive 20 minutes every Sunday. It's nice, but they're family,
Yep.
So that's cool, man. That's cool. Any other? Now, I would like to get in a little bit. Now, as I was reading your bio, there are a few things. It was like comma after comma after comma. Now, we talked about the Hero Benefits Network. We talked about Annie Mac and the folks that you help, military members and veterans, government employees, medical professionals, educators. What is it? What is entailed in that? I mean, is there a certain place where these folks go to for real estate that's different than a normal realtor?
Mm-hmm. A little bit. So I'm the regional director for this area.
Okay.
So for folks looking to buy or sell a home, who are military members, veterans, police officers, firefighters, teachers,
right,
educators, healthcare workers.
So there are benefits for those folks.
Yes. Yep. Reach out to me personally. And I'll a little bit later on, I guess I'll give all the contact information. Mm-hmm. And even if you're out of the area, if you're anywhere else in the country, reach out to me, even though I can't personally help somebody in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Right.
I can find you the director out there.
So realtors' licenses are state-based?
Correct.
Is that what? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that was my understanding of it. Okay. Very cool. Well, before I ask my last question, how can folks reach out to you? So give us the information, the phone number or email address or website.
Yep. So the easiest way would be my cell phone, 757-818-4579. And feel free to call me or text me anytime. I probably won't answer after about 9 o'clock at night.
Because you can,
Because
right?
now I don't have to.
That's right.
Also, my email address is chadkeeney1, the number 1, at gmail.com.
And it's Keeney.
Correct.
All
yep.
right.
And then there's also for Facebook or Instagram, chad.keeney.12.
Okay.
And you can message me through either of those apps as
right.
well. But don't be shy.
Yeah.
Send me a text.
Go for
give me
it,
a
man.
call.
I mean, that's it. That's business right there. Okay, Chad Keeney. Last question. What do you need most right now?
Man, I would say at this point, I mean, my passion for the Hero Benefits Network, I just shout it from the rooftops, man. Like buying a home is, or I should say owning a home, and the path to getting there can be a little bit challenging. And I really do have a heart for it. The people that this program is set up to help, these are not your hardcore capitalists like us.
Sure.
They really are the pillars to society. Your military members, you don't have any freedom without them. Without them being willing to put their own lives on hold in a lot of ways, and even some, put their lives up on the stake for,
Sure.
To give us what freedoms we have.
Right. What we take for granted, right?
Right.
Yeah.
For the teachers, for the healthcare workers, like I have never met a teacher, any educator who couldn't leave the school, go out on their own doing what they teach, and make a lot more money than they're making inside the school system.
Sure.
They're literally making sacrifices to hold up and to keep the society going.
Right.
So, to be able to give back to them, that's my heart. And I throughout the next 5 years, what I need, throughout the next 5 years, I don't want a single military member, teacher, or healthcare worker to not know that this program is available.
HBN, Hero Benefits Network. This is the first time I'm hearing of it, so it's the first time most of these folks are hearing of it. So Hero Benefits Network is where we link those folks up.
Absolutely.
Oh, fantastic, man. Well, Chad Keeney, man, really, really great to meet you. I look forward to hearing what happens over the next 5 years and how many more people learn about the benefits that are available to them that they don't even know about. So, man, I really appreciate you and what you do.
Thank you, John.
All right.
Pleasure being here, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Same.